Today's video is about why hiring the right consultant is far from overhyped. This is part of the Ehrman List series, which aims to provide insights and advice on how to accelerate revenue and earnings in the IoT industry. Why start from scratch when I can help you provide an understanding of what worked, what hasn't, and most importantly, why. So, in today's economy, there's a term called the gig economy, where people are taking various gigs. It's really consulting. And the gig economy has really taken over. According to Intuit, over 34% of those filing tax returns are doing some kind of gig economy consulting job. That number is expected to grow to 43% by 2020. But it's not just the fact that people are doing consulting. When you're going to hire a consultant, it's extremely important to make sure you find the right person who can significantly add value to your IoT business. So let me talk about exactly how you find that person and what you can expect them to provide for your company. In today's expanse of consultants, there are a lot of them out there. So how do you find the right one that can make you as successful as possible? Well, let's start with the fact that when I was the CEO of ID Systems, I hired multiple consultants primarily to help me get into new industries where we had a great product. So for example, we hired a consultant who was a board member at Avis Rental Car to help get our prototype product, which we designed to automate the rental and return of cars, into the rental car industry and learn what their needs were and whether we can really add value. Well, the consultant immediately called the president of Avis, with whom they had a relationship, and within months we were into the company, able to provide a demo to the president, and certainly that resulted in orders and ultimately a 50,000 unit rollout that ID Systems is in the midst of today. So that's an example of a great consultant hire. We also hired a consultant to get us into General Motors. We had a great product that was already in at Ford, but we didn't have any relationships at General Motors. So we hired an ex-CIO of GM. They made introductions. They brought us to the decision makers at General Motors, and within months, we had a pilot program with General Motors. We also were pursuing the aviation industry, so we hired an aviation industry consultant. Each industry, whether we're talking about rental car, automotive, or aviation, has their own languages that they speak. So it's important that the consultants that you hire for those industries speak that language. So when we were trying to pursue the aviation industry, and there aren't many customers who are major players in the industry, whether that's United, American, JetBlue, Southwest, Delta, because there aren't that many players, it was a matter of getting to the right decision makers quickly, making sure that when we got in front of those decision makers, we were able to speak their language and truly understand their business, understand their business's needs from an operations standpoint, from a safety standpoint, from a revenue standpoint, from a cost-saving standpoint, so we could really make sure we were able to not only speak their language, but understand their pain and be able to provide a solution to address those pains. So by hiring an industry consultant, we not only gained quick access to decision makers, but we were able to position ourselves properly when we got those meetings, which ultimately resulted in orders from both American and United that made ID Systems a leader in the IoT business in the aviation industry. But it's not just about introductions, it's not just about shortening the sales cycle or speaking the language. The other things you can get out of a consultant is the right specifications. What is the right price point for tracking? Do they want something with high levels of functionality and a higher price, but typically a higher return on investment? Or do they want something that's very basic, low cost, low functionality, maybe that just does tracking? How do you make those decisions? Well, part of that is really understanding the business, as I talked about, understanding where the pain points are, understanding what the current costs are, understanding what the costs could be if they adopted your technology. So being able to define the right specifications for your product, what functions and features you should pursue, what functions and features you should not pursue, which could take a significant amount of time to put in place, are extremely important, and a consultant can really add value in helping you make those decisions. Another area a consultant can help out with is patents. When you develop new technology and apply them to an industry, you can actually obtain patents on the benefits and the features that you're automating. So for example, again, back with ID systems, we submitted a patent and were granted a patent for automating the rental and return of automobiles. So specifically what that meant is automatically and wirelessly through the Internet of Things technology, pulling the fuel level and odometer from the car allowed us to create an automated bill for the customer without having someone needing to get into the car and type in the information manually. That was something, an automated process, that we were very successful in landing a patent on when we pursued it with the patent office. So in addition to marketing and selling and speaking the language, you also have patents and specifications that a consultant with many years of industry experience can bring to your company. Perhaps more important than all of that is when you do have a great technology for an industry, it could take years to create a track record, a reputation, a proven ability to succeed and deliver on your promises. Well, who wants to wait years? So by hiring a consultant that already has that proven track record and reputation, what that means is you can leverage that and instantaneously have the same credibility that they have. And that can take years to develop without the right consultant. Also, you want to find someone who has experience in not only the markets and the industry, but what you're doing internally. Are you in the development phase? Are you in the rollout phase? Are you looking for early adopters? Are you looking for people who could help fund your internal R&D costs? Well, if you point the consultant in the right direction, they can find real buyers or they can find early adopters or industry leaders who can be very helpful in taking you from a great idea to a proven product. So make sure the consultant that you do hire understands exactly what stage of the business you're at so that he can properly position your products to those customers and early adopters. There's a wide range of capabilities that an industry consultant can provide, all of which are designed to reduce your time to market, reduce your cost of selling, provide a significant level of credibility, understanding the specifications you need in that market. And because I've been on both sides of that process, I can definitely talk about the advantages and disadvantages of hiring a consultant. Now that I've been a consultant for several companies in my industry, I can certainly tell you that it's translated to millions of dollars in business for those companies from some of the most demanding customers in the world because of the capabilities that I described earlier. The credibility, knowing who to talk to, having a true relationship are really worth their weight in gold. When you do hire a consultant, I want to leave you with the fact that it's still up to you to execute. The consultant can help guide you, can point you in the right direction, can shorten your sales cycle and reduce your marketing costs, but they can't execute. So it's extremely important that you deliver on the promises, or else you could hurt the reputation of the consultant and set your company back years. So that's an understanding of why hiring a consultant is a great idea in today's gig economy. Please reach out to me with any questions or concerns. I'd be happy to help you achieve the same success. Thanks again, and I will talk to you soon.